Score. Obviously, in the first two periods, I thought John Muse really kept BC in the game. Your comments on his play seemed really solid, really square to the puck.
Yeah, I thought, the first period, I thought the first 10 or 12 minutes they carried the play, and I think their speed put us back on our heels, but I thought the last 6 or 7 minutes of the first period, we had some great chances, and Muse came up big. And then, the second period, they scored the goal right out of the gate, I think, which hurt. But, even to start the third, we have a power play, and he makes a couple of big saves. If we can get one, I think, it was one of those nights where, we really weren't able to get much going, and I think we needed, to have a bounce or a break. But, I think Boston College certainly had a lot to do with that. And, they're a very good team, if you allow them to free will like we did tonight. And, when you give a team like that 12 power plays, I don't like anybody's chances with that group of forwards they have.
I thought that a couple things. I've had 5 minutes to kind of talk to our team and kind of evaluate the game from my perspective. I thought our senior class was outstanding. This is a team that four of our 21 guys we addressed tonight, but those four just kind of really jumped at me how well they played. Smitty got the first goal for us. Matt Price got a huge goal. I think the early 4-4 goal to make it 2-0. I thought Carl Sneep, we got a late goal, but he played a really strong, solid game. And Matt Lombardi is just a really good physical force for us. So it was evident to me watching us play that these four seniors were really instrumental in, hey, we want to win a Beanpot. We want to get to that championship game, give ourselves a chance. And I thought Johnny Muse was very good in goal. He made some good saves down around the net area. The loose puck situations, it's an area they try to get better at, and I thought he battled a lot better tonight for loose puck situations. We feel really excited as a team and as a staff to get a chance to play for the Beanpot next Monday.
All right, while we're waiting for players, any questions, please, for Coach York? Just raise your hand. We'll bring a microphone. Again, just identify who you are and your affiliation.
Andy Merritt from the New England Hockey Journal. You guys were on the wrong side of the blowout last year in the first round. Did that play in at all to the preparation this year?
I think when you're in the business as long as I am, you learn to develop some amnesia, and you can just forget the bad happenings, just move on to something next. So for my vantage point, did not play into it at all.
Coming in, aggregate record of the four teams under 500. Did it feel any different to you out there, or does what the teams are doing outside of this tournament not matter once it's the first Monday of February?
I think Coach has alluded to it throughout the week. Standings don't really matter when you get to these games. I think all four teams are really solid clubs, and it really doesn't matter. When we get to this Beanpot, everyone plays hard. It's going to be a battle all 60 minutes, and I think all the teams know that coming into it.
Kevin Edelson, EagleAction.com. Matt, Coach alluded to the fact that the seniors had a really great game tonight. How much extra motivation do you guys have, after last year's disappointing exit with Beanpot, to come out and really play well in your last hurrah?
I think John mentioned it. I know last year's last year. This is a new year, but you always want to play well every night, and this night was no different. We try and lead the team, lead by example, and go out and put on a good effort every night. And I think all around, everyone did a great job tonight.
Andy Merritt, New England Hockey Journal. John, you made two saves towards the end of the first, maybe 10 seconds apart. A couple of slash shots from the same kid, loud, kind of light pad saves. If you remember, can you just talk about sort of building confidence on saves like that towards the end of the first period when things were starting to pick up a little bit?
Yeah, I think he had a couple of one-timers from the slide. He kept them low, and I could get my pads on. It always builds confidence whenever you can make saves in the last minute of the period, especially in a 1-0 game like that. I think it was real helpful that we got out with a 1-0 lead after the first, and we built off that after that.
John, Brian O'Connor from Bostonville. Jim Logue mentioned before the game that I had asked him about the platooning, and he said that, especially with you coming off the hip surgery, it's a bad idea to rush you up. But he also hinted, if you will, that you might be carrying the load from here on out. How's the hip, and are you ready to carry that load?
My hip feels well. I've worked a lot on it over the off season after surgery, and so far this season, so I can play every game. I'd much rather be on the ice playing than sitting on the bench. I think as long as I keep playing well,